Hey there, welcome to day 1076 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar world of business to the online world of business. Kind of sharing what's working, what's not, what has been super successful, what has been an epic failure, because yes, I've had some of those as well. Just like in the offline world, you know, business is not a straight line. It's up and down and up and down. And it's the same in the online world. You know, you hear the stories of the get-rich-quick folks and the miracle stories, and you see the Lamborghinis and all the fancy cars and clothes and houses and things and jewels and stories of people doing these incredible things online. And that's exactly what they are. They're stories. Everybody's got a story, and each one of our stories are different. Well, the last couple of days, I've woken up kind of in a ornery mood, which is totally unlike me, but I realized that I was thinking about things outside of me that really don't impact me, that are kind of negative and kind of disturbing. And I decided, and I've been working on this, okay, since last April, the Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting playbook from Lynn Grabhorn. And I thought, first time I did it, it took me a year to get through it, literally a year. And I thought, oh, I'll get through it much faster this time. Well, lo and behold, 2020 is one of those years where things didn't happen particularly super fast in different areas and aspects of our lives. Well, I started doing the book again as part of my first Get Up and Go challenge in April. I said, I'm going to do this book. I'm going to go through it. And I thought it would be faster than last time. And lo and behold, I guarantee I'll finish it up about April again this year. I'm only on page, I think, 119 out of a couple hundred plus. It's a pretty good sized workbook. And it's got exercises and meditations and incredible things in it. I've read the book several times, or not several, but a couple of times. And with my vision getting kind of spotty, okay, not spotty at all, I'm legally blind, it's hard for me to read and do different things, but I get out my handy dandy magnifying glasses and I blow things up on my big screen TV and I can kind of see them. Well, one of the things and the exercises, I picked the book up this morning. I haven't done it for a couple of weeks because it was the holidays and everybody was busy and there's a lot going on. That's my excuse, and I know it's an excuse. And I'm like, I need something. I couldn't sleep this morning, and I woke up again like 3 o'clock yesterday, 3 o'clock again today. And when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm not getting up to make videos or do something, because I don't need to get up that early right now, I'm like, what's going on? And I realized that my thinking was just off. It was focusing on things that don't feel good to me. And whenever I do that, I say, okay, what can I do right now? I turn on the light, like, what am I going to do right now to stop this behavior, stop this pattern of behavior, stop this negative thinking? So I picked up my Lynn Grabhorn, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting book, and I got into where I left off. I've got the pages marked, all about intention. Intention versus wanting, and the nuance and the difference between intending to do something and wanting to do something. It's kind of like the difference between try and do to me. If I say I'm going to try something, I'm not committing to it 100%. I mean, I'm going to give it a try, and if I struggle with it and I decide I don't want to do it, or I change my mind, I'm just going to quit and I'm not going to do it. But if I say I am going to do this, if I commit to doing something, I'm absolutely positively going to somehow, one way or another, figure out how to do it. Well, wanting and hoping and praying something will happen is, to me, the same as wanting something versus intending or determining or deciding or committing to actually making it happen. So she had an exercise in here where you list out 12 things that you want, and then turn the way that you've stated that and said that from a want into an intention, and really feel what it feels like and the difference between wanting something and intending to have it happen. No matter what, come hell or high water, you're going to make that happen in your life because you have intended it and you're committing to make it happen. So I did that this morning. I do what I say I'm going to do. I did the exercise. This is just one of my notebooks this time through the book. It's crazy how much stuff you actually do. And then I read the meditation, and I forgot how wonderful and powerful these meditations are that she's got at the end of each chapter or tenet in the workbook. And if you haven't read her book, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, I highly recommend it. It's a higher level of connection to yourself and understanding. And since my focus this year for the 365-day challenge is do one everything a day that centers you, it's kind of the perfect book to continue working on personally as I go through my own personal challenge. Last year was all about fun. Perfect for 2020, by the way. This year is all about getting to know myself and getting to know yourself better by doing just one thing every day that causes you to ask a question, to get to know yourself better, to center yourself. So I thought this was fantastic and really a great exercise and fun to take the things that we think we want. Because so often we say, oh, I want this, I want that. But we realize that when we're thinking about it, we're really focusing on the fact that we don't have it yet. And if we don't have it yet, it's because we're not focusing on what we want. We're focusing on what we don't want, that we don't have it yet. Remember, our subconscious and our brains work in very interesting and mysterious ways. They don't hear the negative. They only see and hear the positive. So if I say I don't want something, guess what? That's exactly what I'm getting and creating in my life. Scary, but true. Test it out. If you don't believe me, ask yourself and look back on some experiences and say, oh, I don't want this or I don't want that. And ask yourself, when something happened in your life that you didn't want, were you thinking about not wanting it? Because if you're thinking about not wanting it, you're bringing it into your life at lightning speed. So I thought it was kind of funny. And then she says, and I'm going to share a couple of these. After you've done this exercise, here's a recap of the most important things in our lives that we tend to relearn in order to step into empowerment. We just learn to exercise our right to create. We are creators. We create what we feel. We don't create what we say we want. We create what and how we feel about something. That's why I say so often, if something makes you feel bad, it's not for you. If something makes you feel good, it is for you. So when I think about certain topics and certain things, they make me feel bad, which means I shouldn't be thinking about those certain things and topics because I'm not creating what I want in that area of my life. I'm creating exactly what I don't want in that area of my life. So I'm going to grab my magnifying glass and just read a couple of these key points that she said about this whole topic. She says, begin to identify your wants, search for them, find them. Turn every want into an intent. Get back into dreaming and dream big. Learn the difference between safe and selfish wants. Devise more risky wants and more and more and more. Learn to feel your want to ensure it's not a don't want. Very good advice. If it doesn't give you joy, to think about it, change it around to think about something in a way that it brings you joy and happiness and makes you feel lighter and love and those things, because we're always wanting as human beings to move toward things that make us feel good. Now, the things that make us feel good are different for each and every one of us, but that's the intent and the point. Never mind how it will come about. How things happen is none of our business. It's up to the universe to decide how things are going to show up in our life. We just have to create the desire and the feeling and the intention of wanting them. If you can't feel it, forget it. Always want and intend with an open valve, like yes, meaning always be open and excited about the things you want. If you're not excited about it, you probably don't really want it. Expand your horizons every day and never stop. Watch your contradictions. We human beings are massively contradictory. There's a bunch of exercises in the book that help us get from and understand and identify conflicting beliefs, conflicting values, conflicting wants. So often we say, I want to be rich, but I don't want to work that hard. We use but all the time when we say we want something to qualify, and I want to be at my ideal weight, but I don't want to diet and exercise. Or I want to be fit and trim, however, I'm too busy. I don't have time to exercise or take care of myself. So those are contradicting beliefs and thoughts and feelings, and they don't get us what we want. Ask for help in overcoming any guilt or shame in the things that you want. If you feel guilty about something that you want, why do you feel guilty about it? Why do you feel shame because you want to be loved? Why do you feel shame or guilty because you want to have a relationship? Why do you feel shame or guilty because you want to have a ton of money and resources at your disposal? Get beyond society's judgment, and then want, dream, intend, desire with all your might. It's what you came here to do. So Lynn believes that our purpose here is to be infinite creators and to make the world a better place by creating the things that we want in our life. And I 100% agree with that. So that's just some fun things about intent and wanting. And it's a small nuance, but again, it's just like the difference between try and do, trying and committing. And to me, that's a very important distinction. And that's why I wanted to bring it up today. So what else is going on? Fun challenge today, final day of the fun challenge today, day 366, started January 8th of 2020, finished January 8th of 2021, and it was all about doing one fun thing every day. Now we switched into, and I already knew I was going to do this, doing one thing every day that centers us, from the little journal book, do one thing every day that centers you. I like doing this because it commits, it makes sure that I do something every day to move my life ahead and move forward. Even on the days I don't feel like it, even on the days that, last year, let's be honest, every day was not fun. Every day was not, sunshine and roses in 2020 for me or for anyone else on the planet. And so, did I feel like doing something fun every day? Nope. But why did I do it? Because I intended to and I committed to it. Just like this year, I'm doing one thing every day that centers, it says you, but centers me, and the people in the challenge are doing one thing every day that centers them. But it's fun. It makes me think about and create what it is I want in my life automatically by just doing one teeny tiny thing every day. That's what I love about the whole one thing a day concept. And I was doing one thing a day stuff before I found these little journals. But when I found the journals at the cabin, I liked them so much that I bought one for myself and a friend. And we didn't do it. We didn't do the first one was do one thing every day that scares you, because it was about stretching your comfort zone. And we were in a company together. It was, of course, a network marketing company where they had, this is the system you must follow to be successful. Why? Because it's the system that works for most people to be successful. Well, I wasn't comfortable with it. She wasn't comfortable with it. We hated it. And so I got that book to try to help us to stretch our comfort zones and feel more comfortable doing things that made us feel uncomfortable. And we did it for a couple of weeks and we stopped. And then I did it a couple of days and stopped. And it wasn't until I came online and decided, okay, I have this fear of doing videos. I need to find a way around it. What could I do every day to get over this fear? And I saw that little book on my bookshelf and I'm like, all right, that's it. And I actually looked at it and I'm like, all right, I've started and stopped this like 3 or 4 times and abandoned it for a couple of years. I'm going to actually commit to doing it every day. And that's how I'm going to get over my fear of doing videos. And that is actually what I did. I just did it every day, one little video, and it was usually around a minute. Sometimes they'd go 3 or 4 minutes if I got to yapping like I do on this segment. But usually it was around a minute, maybe, maybe 2. But that got me over the fear of doing Facebook Live videos. What else I've got going on? Get Up and Go Challenge will be ramping up again soon, because I'm realizing as I do things like this, I miss doing it. I miss doing it every day, because that one thing a day helps to move me forward in the direction I want my life to go, just like everybody else. So that'll be probably ramping up soon. I'm actually on a podcast on Monday talking about challenges, so that will be fun. Maybe I'll do more of that this year. I don't know. I don't like talking about them as much as I like actually doing them. Doing them to me is a lot more fun than talking about doing them. That's it. That's all I've got today. It's Friday in my neck of the woods. I don't know, depending on where you are listening from, it might be Saturday where you are. Heck, might even still be Thursday, depending if we're going forward or backwards in the time zones of the world. Have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. I'm curious if it's interesting for people when I share some of these things that I'm learning and revisiting or being reminded of. Most of these things that we learn in life, we think, oh, I've known that. I've heard that 100 times before. But then I have to ask myself, well, yeah, am I actually doing it though? Because there's so many things that we hear, especially as we get older, that we've heard before over and over and over again. But it doesn't mean that we're actually doing them. And there's a lot of things I've done in the past that I'm obviously not doing anymore. So there's some things, and actually doing the Get Up and Go Challenge in 2020, that was one of my own personal biggest benefits, was I decided I was going to share tools. And it reminded me of all of the tools that I have at my disposal in my experiences that I wasn't using in my own life on a regular basis. And I brought a lot of those back into my life and said, hey, these are super powerful. Why am I not using them? They worked really well for me in the past. Why did I abandon them? And then I'll try them and I tweak them and I make them my own. And I would say that is one of the biggest, best benefits I personally have from doing the challenges. All right, that's it. Have a great day. I'll be with you tomorrow.